Have a great town hall, everybody.
I believe we hear the typing. I believe we hear the typing. Someone's typing.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Tonight, we will be having our Community of Schools Town Hall for MacArthur Park. Muy bienvenidos a todos. Muchas gracias por estar con nosotros. Hoy tendremos este foro comunitario muy importante de la comunidad de escuelas MacArthur Park. Vamos a comenzar. Next slide.
Once again, thank you for joining us. During today's session, I'd like to inform you that we will be presenting in English. We also have simultaneous translation in Spanish. To listen to this presentation in English or in Spanish, please click on the globe icon at the bottom of the screen. You will select the language of preference for you. You will engage and listen to the presentation in the language you select. Una vez más, muchas gracias por conectar hoy con nosotros. Quería informarles que durante nuestra sesión tendremos interpretación simultánea en español. Esta sesión se presentará en inglés. Usted puede escoger el lenguaje de su preferencia. Haga clic en el símbolo del mundo en la parte inferior de su pantalla. Seleccione el idioma que le gustaría escuchar. Participará y escuchará la presentación en el idioma que seleccione. Next. For today's presentation, we will all be participating in the Zoom webinar session. During the presentation, you can ask questions of our panelists. We will also have a short Q&A as time permits at the end of the session. If you look at the bottom of your screen, there is a Q&A icon. You can pose your questions there and then wait for an answer. Again, we will also be responding to some of the questions as time permits at the end of the session.
Next slide. And now to get started, I'd like to give a warm welcome to our local district superintendent, Mrs. Frances Baez. Mrs. Baez, welcome. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Ms. Regine. It is a pleasure to be with everyone today here in the MacArthur Park Community of Schools. My name is Frances Baez, Superintendent in Local District Central, the home of the champions. It's a pleasure to be with you, and it's a pleasure to tell you and to share with you that we have been open about 100 days without closing. And that's a great accomplishment. And I thank everybody here for making that possible. I'm so proud of the many accomplishments of this community of schools. Dr. Smith has invested up to $500,000 in innovations towards the schools and his community. Schools can look forward to cross-age tutoring, reading tutoring for non-readers, and funding to promote classrooms we call warm demanders. Spaces that offer students learning materials that can relate to themselves and they look like them so that they can feel a sense of belonging and feel connected to the school. I'm also proud of the 61% rate of vaccination in this community of schools and of the We Got Your Back, We Got Vaxxed, Get Vaxxed campaign. This has been a very instrumental campaign to help our students really learn more about the vaccine and its access, and it's promoted a lot of creativity in many of our schools. We're knocking on doors and making calls to ensure that our students are vaccinated by January 10th, 2021. Families, I hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Stay safe and enjoy the season. After over a year of welcoming you to these town halls, I'm so very happy to say that our schools continue to thrive in person at school sites, and it's thanks to all the leadership, and in particular, Dr. Smith, who leads this community of schools. I wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving, and I hope that you experience much joy during the season. And now it is my pleasure to introduce a warrior for 100% graduation, Board Member Monica Garcia. Thank you for your leadership and support. Board Member, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Superintendent, and hello, champions. I am grateful for all of you. Today, we celebrate 100 days of school, and our schools are open across Los Angeles. Thank you for putting love into action. Thank you for not giving up when we needed to go slow to go fast. And yes, thankful superintendent and team for being warm demanders and inviting all of us to participate in joyful disruptions. I want you to take a big, deep breath. If you are concerned about something in the future, if you are concerned about the status of life at the moment, or if you are perhaps a little fatigued, maybe you're tired, I just want you to take a deep breath, because your impact for this community of schools has been significant, and we are grateful for you. Students, staff, leaders, community members, thank you. As we look forward to amazing 22 is upon us, just a few weeks out, we have to remember that what made us strong is being in community, lifting our concerns and using optimism and our past experience of finding solution to move forward. So I want to just echo the gratitude I heard earlier. I want to echo the yes, vaccination mandates for 12 and over will continue, and that's not going away. So thank you to all of those who have gotten a vaccine. Find a friend and talk about it. Today, the board heard inspiring videos from our young people saying we are the generation that overcame COVID. And young people continue to lead. So last thing, think about time in school. During the holidays, we want you to have your time with families. We're excited that we could celebrate with family this year carefully. We need you back in school. We need our children to continue to move forward on their academic journey. And that means take the break when there is a break and join us in fighting for our children's academic wellness and their social emotional wellness in school. Being in school is important. And I just want to thank you. We are all here to serve. If there is something bubbling up for you, your family, anything, perhaps in the choices brochure or something coming up next year, I just want you to know there are people in LA Unified, certainly here in my office, people who want to connect you to support. And we look forward to this very important community of schools seeing greater wellness and greater achievement in the 2022 conclusion of this academic year. Stay well. Take care of yourselves. Superintendent Dr. Smith, it is always an honor to serve and learn alongside you. Enjoy your break.
Thank you very much, Board Member Garcia. It's such a pleasure to be with you, and we will definitely heed your recommendation and make sure to take that break. I also want to acknowledge all the participants here, and in particular, I want to point out Principal Al Vega and all that he has done at Lathy Middle School to promote that vaccine and bring our students access. Thank you so much, Mr. Al Vega, for all that you're doing. We've seen incredible growth, and that means that all the students who took the vaccine can experience face-to-face learning. So congratulations to you. And now I'm going to hand it over to our fearless leader of this community of schools, Dr. Charles D. Smith, who is always vigilant, always attentive, always supporting this MacArthur Park Community School that he leads with so much love. The floor is yours, Dr. Smith.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. And thank you, Superintendent, home of the champions. You are a true champion and a leader. Thank you to our board member, Monica Garcia, who has done so much for our community and always present at our town hall meetings. We thank you for your inspirational words as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Tonight, I would like to share my continued gratitude and appreciation as together we have continued to create normalcy for our school communities through providing engaging, standards-based instruction at all of our school campuses. Because of the work we have done as collective partners, we are ready to embrace the fall season with gratitude and appreciation through acts of love and kindness. One way the MacArthur Park communities of schools may share our appreciation for the greater good is through the act of saving lives through the COVID-19 vaccinations. The facts regarding the vaccine have been presented, and we know that by getting vaccinated, we will help keep our school communities safe. Many of our schools have been exemplars in modeling steps towards creating safe spaces. And I would like to also, as superintendent applauded John Lathy Middle School, applaud John Lathy Middle School, McAllister High School, the School for Social Justice, the School for Business and Tourism, the Los Angeles School for Global Studies, and the academic leadership community at Miguel Contreras Learning Complex for the forward steps they have made in supporting all students 12 years of age and older in getting vaccinated. We are now at 61%, and we are continuing to work collectively together to get close to that 100%, because we know that on January 10th, we want all of our students on our campuses. Please know that LAUSD is offering access to the Pfizer vaccine for students ages 5 to 11 years old, which began on Monday, November 8th. The COVID-19 vaccine is highly encouraged for the groups of students of this age, but at this time it is voluntary and not a requirement. Beginning November 16th, 13 school-based clinics will offer the vaccine. For more information, please visit the district's website. In the meantime, students ages 5 to 11 can get the vaccine at our mobile vaccination units. And we will share a little bit about that later. And as we prepare for this time of celebrations with our families and loved ones, I ask that you join me in honoring Native American Heritage Month as a time to share the unique ancestry, traditions, and contribution of Indigenous people across the country. Additionally, this month is also a time for reflection and a time to bring awareness to our homeless youth population. The more we know, the better we are at being available and lending a hand. So thank you again, MacArthur Park Communities of School, for joining us tonight at our town hall meeting. And we would like to share our agenda with you. Tonight, we have 6 different areas that we will highlight. I would like to welcome our new members to our team. We will highlight student voice from some of our students at Lathy Middle School. We will also hear from our Homeless Youth Awareness Month from the Homeless Office. We will have school presentations from 3 of our local schools, including Commonwealth Elementary School, Union Avenue, and Lathy Middle School. We will have an instructional update where we talk about Family Literacy Month, and then give you some information regarding our vaccination clinics in your area. Next slide. At this time, I would like to welcome 2 new members to the MacArthur Park Communities of Schools. I would like to introduce to you our new solution tech, who's joining us from another community of school, Mr. Richard Archila. He comes to us with experience and working within our MacArthur Park community previously. Next slide. Also, just for your information, we are in the process of hiring a new principal at the School of Academic Leadership Community. And in the interim, I will ask that you join me in welcoming Dr. Deborah Koaloa to the ALC community. She is filling in until we hire our new principal there. Next slide. As you know, at our town halls, we really want to hear from our students. And the students at John Lathy Middle School took time out of their day just to share some gratitude and some thankfulness from their school perspective. Please enjoy.
I'm grateful for the teachers in the school because they've helped us with a lot of things, as in maybe when we need assistance in homework or just anything in general. I am grateful for the teachers too because they help us try to make our lives better in different ways and help us culminate with good grades.
I'm grateful for my family because they're the ones who supported me in getting the vaccine and saying that it's gonna make me better and it's gonna make our lives go to like a better life and protecting us more from the COVID-19, and they have always stuck by my side through bad and good times. I am also grateful for my family because they protect me, they keep me safe, and I just love them. Yeah. I'm most grateful for my family and friends because they know how to cheer me up when I'm having a bad day, and they always support me in things I do. The most people that I'm really grateful for is everyone, to be honest. I say this because everyone has done an impact on me, even though it's negative or positive, but I mostly say it's positive. So I'm just grateful for everyone who has just supported me, guided me, and helped me in any way. I am most grateful for the people that I have met this season, whether it's good or bad people, because they have influenced my everyday life into who I am as a person, rather than just being, myself. I learn and grow a lot. So whether or not it's good or bad, I'm very grateful for people who have, taught me certain lessons in life and just basically in everyday life. I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for my family this holiday season because they've supported me through everything and continue to. I'm also grateful for my family. I'm happy that they're still with me and they will always be with me.
I'm happy because my parents are healthy and so am I. Even though this pandemic hit, I'm grateful because we're all healthy.
I'm grateful for my family because they support me and because they care about me as much as I care about them.
Thank you to the MacArthur, the John Lathy Middle School students. The leadership students there are so grateful, and they inspire each and every one of us each day. At this time, I would like to invite Ms. Angela Chandler from the Homeless Education Office to share some information with us in honor of National Homeless Youth Awareness Month. Ms. Chandler, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. I appreciate it, and thank you for inviting me to be here to share this important information, with your parents and your audience and your community members. Just to let you know, I'm going to tell you a little bit about National Homeless Youth Awareness Month, which takes place during the month of November. So in October 18th, 2016, the LAUSD Board of Education passed a resolution recognizing November as National Homeless Youth Awareness Month. This is actually a nationwide initiative that increases awareness about the support that needs to be provided to youth that are experiencing homelessness. Many of our youth have very unique needs and really benefit from the support from a kind and caring adult, and linking them to appropriate resources to meet their needs. Now, you may ask, who's an unaccompanied youth that would be experiencing homelessness? Like, what does that look like? And so we look at a particular definition that's a federal definition. It's called McKinney-Vento. That's a federal law that's been put in place to basically recognize families that are experiencing homelessness. And so that would be a child or a youth that's living arrangement would meet this McKinney-Vento definition, and the child or youth is not in the care or custody of their parent or guardian. And what do you think about the McKinney-Vento definition? We're actually talking about youth that are not living in fixed, regular, or adequate nighttime residences. And so examples of that would be families and youth that are living in motels that are doubled or tripled up. A lot of our youth are couch surfing. And so they're kind of bouncing around from place to place. We also oftentimes have youth that are living in unsheltered locations. They oftentimes may be riding the bus or sleeping down in the metro stations at night just to receive some type of shelter. And then there are some that are actually in youth shelters all over the Los Angeles area. One way that we utilize, it's a tool that we use to identify our students that are experiencing homelessness as the student housing questionnaire. And this is to be actually provided to the school, to the students every school year, and it's in their enrollment packets or their registration materials. And the student housing questionnaire, we call it SHQ, is the form that we utilize to identify our students. And then we also make sure that we express that is a confidential matter. We do not share that with anyone unless they need to know and they're providing some type of support to the students. So what are some of the causes of youth homelessness? And what we found is that when we're talking to our students, a lot of times there's maybe some type of abuse or domestic violence in the home or substance abuse that is cause a child to flee the home, or sometimes, they are forced out of their homes. These families also, the youth are living in unstable living conditions, and sometimes they may have a parent that is no longer with them due to incarceration, illness, or death. And we know that a lot of our students have actually been impacted by death of parents due to the pandemic. Also, the students can become homeless with their family. What we found is that, the whole family becomes homeless. They're kind of looking for different places. They're constantly in transition. And then that youth too, then they may be on their own because there's not enough space for them to, stay where the family is. And so they have to go out on their own as well. And then also we have a lot of our youth we're finding are in the LGBTQ community and have been pushed out of their homes, or there may be students or youth that are timed out of their foster care placements. And just want to let you know, when we talk about unaccompanied youth that are experiencing homelessness, they can be any age. We've seen them as young as like 12 to 13 years old, and then we've also seen them high school age. Now, in terms of data, when we look at homelessness, actually across LA County, there's a point in time count that looks at, the different individuals that are experiencing homelessness, adults, children, families. And they found that in one of the previous count that over 66,000 individuals were experiencing homelessness, which was actually 2.7 increase in the number of individuals experiencing homelessness from the previous year. So the last count took place in 2020. We didn't do a count in 2021 because of the pandemic. And then we also found that as we did this count, that 19% of the individuals counted, there was an increase in youth homelessness. And so that's a growing concern across, school districts. We want to make sure that we're finding who those students are and we're providing with the supports. Another thing that we kind of look at is our students that are experiencing homelessness are usually twice as likely than their house classmates to go to school hungry. And this is, very important because we know the importance of, nutrition in a child's health and growth and development and their ability to attend and learn at school. In terms of education, what we're looking at is that the data shows that youth without a high school diploma are 4.5 times more likely to experience homelessness. So we want to make sure that we have our students engaged. We're providing them with those supports at school so that we can make sure that we help them along their way in their growth and development. Also, youth that are experiencing homelessness have higher rates of poverty. And there's all different types of implications that go along with that. And then also employment data indicates that 65% of jobs require education beyond high school, right? And we know that in Southern California, there's a tremendous lack of affordable housing, and it's very difficult to maintain, living expenses and all that goes along with it if we don't even have that education. So it's very important. Just like Board Member Garcia was saying, that the children are in school, they're getting their education, they're in a place where they're loved and they're connected to other folks that can really bring them up and get them all on their path to their goal. Another thing, just want to let you all know that the Homeless Education Office, we're there. We're there to support any families or youth that are experiencing homelessness. We have staff that are available every day to answer our calls, or actually answer your calls, sorry. And that would be Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 4:30 p.m. And so you can call at 213-202-7581, and then we'll have someone available to basically answer your calls, provide you with tools, support, and also maybe the SHQ if you need that. And we talk about also what schools can do to really bring in the resources to the students and give them a place of safety and calm. And we ask that schools implement procedures to welcome and support their students that are unaccompanied or experiencing homelessness, so they feel that they can have that connection and they're engaged and they feel that there's a trusted adult that they can speak to. And then also provide opportunities so that the youth can actually meet with the school site homeless liaison. There's one at every single school, so it's important that they reach out to those folks. And then also just have a safe space where they can come in. Now, for National Homeless Youth Awareness Month, we do have our National Homeless Youth Awareness Month toolkit that's available on the LASD main page website and also the website for the Homeless Education Program Office. And it has different recommended activities in there, and there's readings and videos that are provided as well. So we also, Homeless Ed has scholarships available for students, housing resources. We also have our sponsor a family holiday event that's coming up. So if you know of anyone, or you yourself may maybe qualify or eligible for services, please feel free to contact us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chandler. I really appreciate you being with us this evening. I look forward to the next opportunity for you to share more information with our school community, and thank you again. At this time, I invite Ms. Ferris to take the stage for our Native American History Month. Ms. Ferris, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Smith, and thank you, Ms. Chandler, for educating our MacArthur Park community on our homeless youth this month of November. This month of November is also Native American History Month. National Native American and Alaska Native Heritage Month is when we remember the contributions of the indigenous people and Alaska Natives and honor the heritage of our continent's first inhabitants. President Biden's 2021 proclamation states, despite a painful history marked by unjust federal policies of assimilation and termination, American Indian and Alaska Natives peoples have persevered. During National Native American Heritage Month, we celebrate the countless contributions of Native peoples past and present, honor the influence they have had on the advancement of our nation, and recommit ourselves to upholding trust and treaty responsibilities, strengthening tribal sovereignty, and advancing tribal self-determination. For us at MacArthur Park, we want to share with you some resources for educators and families to continue the journey in educating yourselves about our Native American history. For educators and families, visit Los Angeles Unified School District's Human Relations, Diversity, and Equity Department for learning opportunities for your class, such as advisory presentations and more. And for our families, we have some literature here that you can share and you can find at your local public libraries to learn about Native American History Month. These are great texts to share with your students about Native American history. And although we are highlighting Native American authors and illustrators and characters today, let us keep in mind that these books should not only be read in November, but every month to uplift and empower our communities. Some books that we have highlighted here are My Heart Fills with Happiness, We Sang You Home, and The Sea in Winter. Thank you again for celebrating Native American History Month with us at MacArthur Park Community of Schools. And I'm going to now share the floor back to Dr. Smith.
Thank you, Ms. Ferris. I really appreciate your presentation today, and thank you for sharing the information and resources with our families. At this time, we will begin our school presentations, but before we do that, we would like to share with you a unique presentation from the students at Commonwealth Elementary School as they share gratitude and thanks.
I'm grateful for a mom who got me a bird and gave me a brother. I am grateful for my mom, my house, my little brother, and my grandparents. Grateful for my whole family, my parents, my little sister, my family, shelter, water, and food. I am thankful for my life and the place I live in. Thankful for my family and my dog and my house and my cousin.
Thank you. As our students warm our hearts, as they are filled with gratitude and thanks, many things that we are thankful for. At this time, I would like to invite the principal of Commonwealth Elementary School, Mr. Javier Ortiz. Mr. Ortiz, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Good evening, everyone. It is a great honor and with much appreciation that I'm part of this great panel. And I'm here to present our beautiful Commonwealth Avenue Elementary School. It's a highly gifted, high ability arts and technology and magnet center for gifted students. So some highlights about our school. We receive students from ETK, that's early transitional kindergarten, all the way to 5th grade. Our school is also known for technology. So we teach students technology starting in kindergarten. As a matter of fact, we are also part of the Amazon Future Engineer Program. And we have like a teacher technology club where the students have the ability to stay on Wednesdays after school. And they learn about robotics, they learn coding, they have so much fun. We also have music and dance classes, and we also have a video production class. So it's really cool and interesting, the things that our students are able to do. One highlight is that our school has been open since 1924. So in about 3 years, we're gonna be celebrating our 100 years as an institution. And we are part of the California Distinguished Schools. So it is a great honor, and thank you for sharing the website. And definitely parents, you could feel free to contact us, contact myself at Commonwealth, and we could definitely provide you guidance with a tour, whether if it's virtual or in person. Thank you, Dr. Smith, and all the panel for having us here.
And thank you, Mr. Ortiz, for being with us tonight. And thank you for sharing your students with us this evening as we look forward to many new opportunities. At this time, I would like to welcome Mr. William Estrada, the proud principal of Union Avenue Elementary School, to share a little bit about Union Avenue. Mr. Estrada, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. I almost said good morning. Good evening, everyone. My name is William Estrada. I'm the proud principal here at Union Avenue Elementary, home of the champion unicorns. Buenas tardes a todos. Es un gran orgullo estar aquí. Soy el orgulloso director de la escuela Union Avenue Elementary. So Union Avenue is a mainstay here in MacArthur Park. We've been open since 1890. Here are some of the community partnerships that we have and that offers all this great enrichment to our students. We believe a lot in empowering our students through voice, and therefore we have done it through integrating technology. What do I mean by that? We are practitioner schools. We are a selected school amongst the district that practices around integrating technology. We are also a common sense school where the teachers have taken extra lessons and implemented in the class to make sure that our students are safe, responsible, and respectful online. We also are part of the VEX robotics competition that allows our students to learn how to make robots and also control them. We just partnered up with All Kids Bike, which is an organization that teaches kinder and first grade students how to ride bikes, knowing that sometimes our students that live in this area don't always have that opportunity. We received a $10,000 donation through a grant from Dick's Sporting Goods that's going to help us in terms of equipping our PE. We also have partnerships with Project LEAD, which is through the LA County department. And what they do there is that they teach our fifth graders what it's like to be a lawyer, to be a prosecutor, and the legal system here in LA County. We're proud to say that we partner up with young storytellers, which allows our students to have a voice and a platform to share that experience. We also have a partnership with the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, where they come and they read to our students. But these are just partnerships. These are just opportunities that we give our kids. What's more important for any school is the relationships that we build. Therefore, I want to introduce our student council president, Ms. Jasmine Kubox, who created this video to talk a little bit more about what makes Union Avenue special, thinking about empowering our students. So I'll let Jasmine take over from here.
Welcome to Union Avenue Elementary, home of the unicorns. My name is Jasmine and I am this school's president. We have put together this tour to show what makes our school special. We are a part of a long history and tradition which makes our school unique. Our history starts in 1891 when Union Avenue Elementary School opened its doors to serve Los Angeles communities in the MacArthur Park area. We are the fifth oldest school in Los Angeles, and as we look at our past, we now look forward to our future as we work to learn and to be ready for this 21st century. Today, our school serves a vibrant community of immigrant and Latinx families, and as in our past, our school has served as a hub and a birthplace to many generations of Angelenos. So let us show you our school. This is the front of our school. These are the doors where teachers, students, and families share our vision for our school, where we believe all children have the ability to learn. At Union, we learn in many creative and new ways that makes learning easy and fun. Let us show you a few of the things that make our school special. Come on in. Here we are in the main hallway. Here, where everyone can see, we have our book and cultural celebrations wall. Here's our book wall where we celebrate book authors and literacy that reflects our diverse community. And here is our main office where we find our wonderful staff and of course our principal, Mr. Estrada. Our school is committed to ensure students succeed in school and are able to practice and develop creative ways to communicate their voices and experiences. Besides our love for books and celebration of cultures that represent our school and our community, we also celebrate creativity, the arts, and technology, science, language arts, mathematics, etc. Our teachers are dedicated to make sure we learn and succeed academically. Here are some examples of how we celebrate the arts and outside the classroom. These paintings were created by our teachers and our students. They are truly precious for their artistic value and the way we give our students voice and choice to express themselves. This is our outdoor cafeteria where we can eat a good meal outside on our always nice California day, or inside the MPR on a rainy day. Our school makes sure we are all happy and provides us food during and after school hours. We also have some really nice playground areas where students can be kids. Also, our school has many murals, once again, created by our teachers and students. Our school is really pretty and makes us feel safe and happy. All around, you will find murals that remind us of the value of our cultures and why education is important. Our school and teachers know that learning environments inside and outside the classroom matter to how we feel as we get used to being at school again. Thank you for visiting our school. We wish we had more time to share with you all the wonderful people, projects, classrooms, and learning that happens here. We hope you got more than a glimpse of how great our school is and how caring and motivating our teachers and learning environments are. We are at the footsteps of Los Angeles downtown, where we are one of the vibrant colors that make our city's canvas. On behalf of our administrators, teachers, students, and parents, I invite you to visit us and join us in making this school the best in Los Angeles.
And I know Jasmine is here with us in the audience, and I'm truly fortunate to serve this community. I'm truly blessed to have students like Jasmine, a staff, a faculty that really cares. And how do I know this? Because for me, my journey is cyclical here at Union. I was born in Guatemala, soy Chapin. That's my passport picture with my mom and older sister. That's the apartment building where I grew up. And that's me in first grade at Union about to do the hooky lab. I've been fortunate to serve at the USD. I'm a proud graduate of the USD. And that is why I'm humbled. And I am the proud principal here at Union, home of the unicorns, champion unicorns, and home of wonderful students like Jasmine. Thank you so much for this opportunity to highlight my school, my students, and my comunidad. Gracias.
Thank you, Principal Estrada, for sharing that amazing student with us. I'm so excited to have that student leader with us and share your community. I see such passion, and I understand your story of being a student at Union and coming back was there as a teacher, a math coordinator, and now as the principal. So thank you for sharing tonight. At this time, I would like to invite Mr. Al Vega. I'm the proud principal of John Lathy Middle School, home of the Sharks. Mr. Vega, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alberto Vega. Al Vega, I'm the principal of Lathy. Jasmine, come my way. We will be your middle school. And please invite all your friends and families to join us. Come see us for open house. We're looking forward to such great minds at Union and all the local schools. But I just want to make everyone aware that at John Lathy Middle School, we believe in three strong areas here. We have three areas: strong community partnerships and social emotional learning support, competitive academics to prepare for high school and beyond high school, and expectations for all. And I mean for all, not only for students, but for administrators, for all staff. We have expectations for all. But I do want to spend some time with strong community partnerships, social emotional learning support. As we know, right? As we know, this pandemic has given all of us a lot of stress and trauma. And we know as educators that our teachers, administrators also have stress and trauma. We know that our students come with stress and trauma. They come with adverse childhood effects such as divorce, loss of jobs from their parents. And as a staff, we communicate, we talk, and we say, what are we going to do to make sure that our students go from that survival brain where they're so stressed out, they can't think, they're not happy, to a learning brain. So where they're actually able to learn and feel safe. So what we do is we partnership with a lot of agencies like communities and schools who provide outside agencies where we could provide therapy, City Year that come in and actually provide for tutoring before school, after school. We're partnering with Love and Justice. Well, we have frank conversations. We're partnering with Love and Justice and Central District. We have frank conversations about race at school. We talk about anti-racist project-based learning, where students are creating projects based on what they can do to change the status quo, how people are against anti-Blackness, anti-Asian, anti-Caucasian, anti-Latino X. So we have these frank conversations with students and staff, and how that implicit, sometimes we don't even know we have biases in us, actually could affect the way we communicate and treat others, or that explicit, we know explicitly that we are against a race, how that interferes in everyday work and life. We also have a strong, robust student health and human services. We have PSA counselors. We have specialized student population counselors that really help with our foster youth kids. And we have, I believe I said 2 psychiatric social workers as well. Counselors, administrators, we get together. We discuss how we could actually individualize plans for students who are going through the trauma, through the ACEs that I mentioned, how we're going to support them in school, how we're monitoring them with their grades, how we're going to make sure that we're communicating with parents, how we're going to make sure that we open our doors. We have MOUs where agencies come to our school to provide mental support and counseling. And as we're doing that, I want to come back at the other end here, competitive academics to prepare our students for high school and beyond. So we had an initial accreditation, which means we're one of the few middle schools in LA Unified that did a self-study, how students will learn, as educators, how we will prepare them to learn, how we're going to monitor that, and we had to write a plan. A team came in to evaluate this, and sure enough, we were doing exactly what we said we were going to do, and we were accredited. Kudos to the Lathy staff. So just so you know, we have 881 students, 376 are English learners. We have honors courses for our students. We make sure that we have honors courses in all content areas, English, history, health and science, and yes, we even have 8th grade algebra. We have electives, robotics, digital imaging, band, and orchestra. And you saw my leadership group there representing Lathy. We have student clubs. We have our prison clubs with their lesbian, gay clubs as well. The Black Students Matter Committee, we also have that here, where Black Students Matter. We make sure that we monitor our Black students to make sure that they're getting everything that they need. And I'm so proud that we first have our first Black Student Union and the allies that meet as a club. We have a book club. Again, we believe that the social emotional well-being is important, but we also have to make school fun And we also have to be that warm demander, as Superintendent Bias said. Again, high expectations for all. We really try to work on our reclassification rates. Those students who have not reclassified, the students that are a little bit higher in academic level, we give them Avid Excel. That really helps them. And we see most of our students are in that program. They redesignate and then read 180. The students who have not redesignated, but need a little bit more help with foundational reading, we put them in there as well. Like I said, high expectations for all. We strengthen our teacher capacity with the use of professional learning communities. Teachers get together, they create lessons, and they say, well, what happened to your lesson? Let's provide each other support. And that's what we do. And we actually engage in rigorous cycles of continuous improvement. For example, we plan a lesson, the teachers teach it, then we look at the data, and then we reevaluate to see how we're going to make changes. And again, we do this as we're making changes and differentiating instruction. We do this through the use of academy time. Academy time is a special time on Monday where teachers look at this data that I talked about through the professional learning communities and actually see how they're going to differentiate and make their individualized instruction for students. For example, if a student is struggling in mathematics or in fraction or even in algebra, what in particular am I as a teacher am I going to do while I'm teaching a group? I have another independent group who's actually working. We also have Saturday and tutoring and after school tutoring. But overall, I would like to say is that I always said when I first arrived, I am going to make this the best middle school that you could come. The students from Union come, Commonwealth, all the area schools, 10th Street. Please come and join me. I will make you proud to be a Shark. And thank you very much for this opportunity, Dr. Smith, for letting everyone know how awesome we are at Lathy. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal Vega, for sharing and highlighting John Lathy Middle School. As you know, that I know it's awesome. And I thank you for the work that you're doing. At this time, I would like to invite Mr. Tim on for our instructional update. Mr. On.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Thank you, Principal Alvega and all the principals. It was truly inspiring to listen to all the things that are happening at your school. So at this point, we would like to actually celebrate the National Literacy Month and also share some resources with you all so that you can implement this at your home with your child. Next slide, please. So November is the National Family Literacy Month. This is the month for families to come together and celebrate reading and writing. This video shows how family literacy can be accomplished through the support of Los Angeles Public Library. Please play the video.
Like this. Story time is a multifaceted, awesome, and free activity for families who are looking to build early literacy skills into their lives. We've used 5 early literacy practices today in this dinosaur story time: reading, talking, writing, singing, and playing. We strongly believe that using these 5 practices will prepare kids for a better future.
So as you can see, the families, employees, and children all interact with each other as children learn to read and write. So the Los Angeles Public Library has great resources to support literacy of all ages. The library has picture books that parents can read to their children. As parents are reading through the books, it is recommended that parents ask children what the picture is saying and pronounce the words, and ask children to pronounce the words with you. The 2 closest libraries around MacArthur Park are the Central Library, located on 639 North Hill Street, and Echo Park Branch Library, located on 1410 West Temple Street. In the chat, we'll place a link to the library locations around MacArthur Park and link to family books that you could use for your children. Next slide, please. I also wanted to share another great resource to support family literacy. This is from LAUSD. To support our parents with literacy skills, LAUSD offers English learning programs for adults. This is great for working parents as the programs are offered at nighttime. Personally speaking, the adult education program has helped to transform the life of my mom when she first immigrated here in 1989. The program supported my mom in obtaining English skills and her lifelong dream of being a high school graduate. You can learn more about LAUSD Adult Education Program by clicking on the link in the chat, which I'll place right now. Now, at this point, I would like to invite Dr. Smith back for our ongoing presentation.
Thank you, Mr. An. Thank you for that instructional update. At this time, next slide, I would just like to remind us that LAUSD continues to strive for safety, the best safety protocols for all of our students. Next slide. As you know, we are continuing to work to ensure that all students 12 or older are vaccinated as soon as possible before July 10th for all of their vaccinations. Next slide. So here, before you have an opportunity tonight. If you haven't done so already and you need a vaccination, you may attend the Evans Community Adult School for vaccinations. They're open to 8 p.m. tonight. It's not too late. You have time. You have about 2 hours to rush over there if you haven't done so already to get your first vaccination. Students, we are asking that all students upload their daily pass, or if you only had 1 dose of your vaccination, you may upload that as well. So when you get your second dose, you upload that. And we want to make sure that's done in Daily Pass. Next slide. Also, as I mentioned earlier, LAUSD is offering the Pfizer vaccine for all children 5 to 11 years old. It's highly encouraged, but remember, it's not mandatory. Students 5 years or older can be vaccinated and will be vaccinated at our mobile vaccination sites. We're going to put a link in the chat where you can see all the various sites where you can get vaccinated. Next slide. And here's a list of, in fact, of where you may be vaccinated on Tuesdays at either Fauché Learning Center or the School Enrollment Placement and Assessment Center of Los Angeles for all students 5 to 11. Remember, it is highly encouraged, but it is not mandatory at this time. Next slide. Here is the web address for our Daily Pass. And you'll find, using the links that'll be placed in the chat for you, the steps that you can take to upload your vaccination records. If you go to any agency outside, whether it's your hospital, your personal private doctor, physician, we encourage you to please upload evidence of your your vaccination as soon as possible. Next slide. These are some frequently asked questions. Can students be vaccinated at the school with parent consent? Yes, there is a consent form that our schools are distributing for John Lathy and Miguel Contreras Complex, McAllister. We had an amazing turnout on November 7th. And I thank all of our families for filling out the consent form and allowing their students to be vaccinated on campus. That vaccination clinic will return to John Lathy and the Miguel Contreras Complex on November 30th for their second dose. Next slide. At this time, I would like to also remind our families that all of our parents, we encourage you to complete the school experience survey as soon as possible. The deadline was extended for all of our families until December 19th. That's Sunday, December 19th. But you would do us all a huge favor if you have a moment tonight after our call to use the link that Mr. Ott is going to place in the chat, that you can log on and complete your experience survey today. All students will complete their surveys, third to 12th grade, within their school community with their homeroom teacher or their classroom teacher or their pathway advisor. Next slide. At this time, we have some additional updates to share. Next slide. So we ask that anyone interested in the local district central Black Students Achievement Plan parent meeting, the very first informational meeting is scheduled for Monday, November 29th at 5 p.m. Here is the Zoom ID, and you can see any of our campuses for more information. So again, this is the informational session. If you're interested or curious about the Black Student Achievement Plan, please tune in on Monday. That's our first day back after our Thanksgiving holiday on the Monday, November 29th. Next slide. Also, on December 6th, please join us for our Black Students Matter Town Hall, where we will hear from our students' voices, where students will talk about their activism and how they're active in their communities and supporting students and families. Next slide. Also, our parent science workshops. We have partnered with Eagle Rock Highland Park Communities of Schools, Glassell Park, Los Feliz Community Schools, and together with the MacArthur Park Communities of Schools to bring the parent science workshops. Please register as soon as possible. And we have a series of workshops that begin yesterday on Monday, November 6th. Our next workshop is December 6th and continue on December 13th. And that link too will be shared with you in the chat as well. Next slide. Also, we have our MacArthur Park Parent Self-Care for Parents and Caregivers. We understand how challenging it can be sometimes. And even in the times that we're in with the pandemic, these are some opportunities for you to please tune in on Tuesday, November 30th for a parent workshop on self-care for parents and caregivers. Please join us. Next slide. And also, as mentioned last month, LAUSD has worked with LA Metro to provide free transportation tap cards for all secondary students. Our secondary high schools already have the cards. Please have your student to visit their counseling centers where their cards will be made available. Also, our middle schools as well, and they will be coming to our elementary schools very soon. Next slide. At this time, I believe we've answered most of our questions in the chat. Are there any additional questions at this time, Ms. Herrera?
Good evening, Dr. Smith and all town hall participants. Just a clarification regarding our vaccinations. Do appointments need to be made, or is it walk-through only?
Oh, perfect question. Thank you, Ms. Herrera. I do have our operations coordinators with us. I would ask that they chime in. There's Mr. Sines. Mr. Sines, welcome. Thank you for being with us. I appreciate your support tonight. There is a question in the chat regarding walk-ups for our vaccination clinics.
Thank you for the invite, Dr. Smith, and thank you for keeping our community informed of the options that they have for vaccinations. Appointments are always a better way to get vaccinated quick and fast and easy, but it doesn't have to be an appointment. The parents can actually walk up to the facility and get vaccinated at the facility. Again, appointments are preferred because they could do the appointment through the web. They could actually do their consent form on the web and the kids don't have to carry it with them. So it's a lot faster, a lot easier to do it that way, but it doesn't have to be. We are offering walk-on options for them to get vaccinated.
And Mr. Sines, I thank you for being with us. See, we have so much support in the MacArthur Park Communities of Schools. All of our team members are with us. So thank you, Mr. Sines. Ms. Herrera, are there any other questions tonight?
Not at this time, Dr. Smith. Thank you very much.
Well, I thank you for being with us. Next slide. I thank you all for being with us tonight. This is one way to reach us. We are on social media, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. The QR code there, you can go directly to our website. And each month, you can easily click on our website and you can easily log on to our town hall meetings. My email address is listed there and our phone number. Next slide. I ask that you please join us for our very next town hall. We will not have a town hall on December 14th. Originally, we had one scheduled for December 14th, but we understand that our families are excited about the amazing opportunities at our local schools, and our schools are having so many different events and programs. We did not want to distract you from that. So we will return on Tuesday, January 18th for our next town hall and our first town hall of 2022. Until then, remember that we are here to support you. Next slide. We have a very robust team. These are all of our team members in the MacArthur Park Community Schools office. Please feel free to contact any one of us. Again, my name is Dr. Smith. I thank you for joining us tonight. And remember, Dr. Smith loves you and there's nothing you can do about it. Have a great evening and thank you for joining us. Good night.